Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Marlene Cuellar.
And I'm Gavin Courtney.
And thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning.
Yeah, feeling a bit steamy out there.
Oh yeah, it's already kind of warm.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, we are going to, of course, get into our weather a little bit later, but we do have a lot to talk about. Yesterday was also a pretty eventful day. We saw the first official visit by the Prime Minister to Guatemala, and that was pretty exciting. Yeah. We saw a lot, and you know, both presidents, well, the Prime Minister and the President did speak, and they spoke about strengthening the relations between the two countries. Yeah. And of course, this is, he was also accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on that trip. Yeah. And, you know, it was a very interesting event to watch take place.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, I think that it really does bring the conversation back to, of course, one of the crucial things that is ongoing at this time, which is, of course, the process of the case before the ICJ. There has been some delays in that case so far, but this meeting, of course, is pivotal in being able to recognize that there will have to be ongoing relations while the case is being settled. This is the first official visit, and you know, it also, for one of the things I thought about was thinking how we are back to the phase now where they're doing in-person meetings. So much has been virtual in a year and a half. Seeing people gathered together in this way, it is a reminder that we are in a different part of the pandemic.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of in-person, well, appearances. We also, if you were paying attention to the news yesterday, we were, of course, bringing you coverage of what is now, we're at the stage of the bail application in the case of Jasmine Hartin, who, of course, has been charged with manslaughter for the killing of Superintendent Henry Gemot. Yeah. And we saw yesterday that there was, yesterday was set as the application for bail in the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. As we know, she was denied, the defense did apply for bail in the Magistrates Court, and it was denied. Therefore, there was an appeal to the Supreme Court. It was set for hearing yesterday, but it was adjourned till next week. So there weren't really many events, but of course, based on the international and local news coverage, it was, of course, a very big event. Maybe if you were downtown in the city, you caught some of the action that happened yesterday there.
Yeah. No, quite a few international media are in country to document what is taking place. What happens now is that the written submissions have to be submitted by Friday, and Justice Lord has committed to providing a decision by next week. So that will be interesting as well. The story last night was that the DPP objected to bail on one ground only, and that's that Jasmine is a flight risk, and so they have to define exactly why they consider that to be sufficient reason, and the arguments on the other side as well.
Yes, and of course, we will, of course, bring you coverage of the decision, which should be pronounced next week, Wednesday. And it's rather interesting, as several people pointed out, and of course I know as well that usually Supreme Court bail applications are heard on Fridays. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that her defense team, of course led by Godfrey Smith, Senior Counsel, along with Mr. Hector Guerra, probably applied for bail on an urgent basis. Attorneys can do that. Of course, it's always within the discretion of the court whenever to set hearings for any type of application or hearing.
Yeah.
But some people did point that out, that the application to the Supreme Court was set for the day or very quickly after the refusal to grant bail in magistrates court.
Yeah. So we keep on following the story, and of course, Wednesday we'll find out more about those submissions, and we'll know the official decision by next Wednesday. And one of the strange stories from last night, a supposed, well, I can't say supposed, we're still not sure what happened in San Pedro as yet. There was a search that was initiated yesterday evening because it was believed that someone had been snatched by a crocodile. The challenge here, and I watched that video and I thought to myself, man, this is, all the years we have talked about the living with disabilities. The person who was making the report was not able to talk. He was nonverbal. I don't know the reasons why, but he was kind of gesticulating as to what happened, and so it was a lot of guessing game that was going on at that time. But subsequently, community and law enforcement got engaged to initiate the search for what is believed to be someone who was taken by the crocodile. We still don't know officially if someone was taken or what the circumstances around that was.
Yes, and of course we'll be monitoring that situation very closely. Yes. There were extensive efforts made yesterday to find both at the official level with the police, but also the community got very involved as well in the search. Of course, here in Belize we do live alongside, creatures like this, and there of course have been unfortunate incidents in the past where there have been attacks or negative human and crocodile interactions here, right here in Belize City, up in Ladyville, and of course
in San Pedro,
they've
documented that crocodile. Well, I don't know if it's that one, but crocodiles in those lagoons multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, as Marlene said, this is still an unresolved situation. We don't know officially what happened, and of course, when we do know, we'll be bringing you coverage, talking about it here and also on our nightly newscast. But as of right now, the search has yielded no results that we can report now.
And just in an update, when it comes to COVID-19, there is, of course, another case that was detected at a school in Belize City that caused the closure of that institution. And we are told that the person is asymptomatic, but it does highlight, and we keep on saying it every day, just, we've been in this together since last March. And we must continue advising that we still have active cases of COVID-19 circulating in the country, and that it is absolutely important that we keep that in mind. The resumption of school, this was also one of the concerns that people had very early on. And we had this happen just a few weeks ago after there was that outbreak detected at the casino.
Yes, and of course this isn't the first school that has experienced this issue. Of course, a few weeks ago we spoke about the cases that took place in 2 schools in Belize City. And of course, back to what Marlene said, it does underscore that COVID-19 hasn't gone away, it's still very active, and that's why it's always important to make sure that you're following all of your protocols. And the advice which several, both medical professionals and both in Belize and abroad have given, is that when you do leave your house, if you have to be out in public with a lot of other people, you have to treat everyone as a suspected case. So that's why it's critical to continue to do things such as wearing your mask, keeping your distance from people 6 feet if you can, washing your hands quite regularly, washing or sanitizing if you aren't able to, And of course, I'm sure you've heard all of this before, but it is always a timely reminder because, you know, this case highlights as an asymptomatic case that people may be walking around with an active case and they may not even know it. So the best thing to do is to keep yourself as safe as possible, to keep others around you safe as well.
Absolutely. And of course, currently, as of yesterday's report, we have 68 active cases that have been detected. Because it can be an asymptomatic case, there are people who may be positive and not know. So these cases sometimes are caught because the person gets symptomatic, or it can also happen because they have been found through contact tracing. And so we do urge you to remain vigilant. And of course, if you are eligible, if you fall within the first 3 phases, which is where we're still at with the vaccination, please go out and get your vaccine. People are moving into their second round of vaccinations. Up to date, we have 11,516 persons fully vaccinated. That is nowhere near where we need to be at, to really accomplish what is called herd immunity. And so at this time, we must continue with as much caution as we can moving forward.
Yes, absolutely. The vaccination rates have been slow, but more or less consistent. And we're seeing usually about over 1,000 persons a day, sometimes as high as 1,800. But of course, if you are eligible, we would always encourage you to go out and get vaccinated, as it is, of course, recommended. And again, to repeat something which you might have heard already, but it is very important, is that once you are fully vaccinated, and that is after you've received your 2 doses, then it almost eliminates the risk of contracting a very serious case of COVID. And therefore, even if you do contract the virus, you yourself wouldn't get a serious case, but also you significantly reduce your chances of getting it in the first place.
Yeah. Enough reason. I'm looking forward to my second shot. It's quickly approaching.
Yes, exactly. Mine too.
All right, but that is just a recap of what's happening in the country, and we, of course, encourage you to tune into the news at 6 p.m. tonight for the latest update on those stories and more. But we're going to get moving into our show for today, and that means some motivation to get you going. And that means it's time for Eye Opener. Our Eye Opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. In the morning, send yourself love for the entire day. Be sure to collect that love along the way. When things go wrong, it is easy to get into a bad mood. And that bad mood has a way of spiraling out and affecting our life for days to come. In the same way, when we feel badly about ourselves, we tend to act in ways that have repercussions. Again, creating a negative vibe that can negatively influence the next several days. While it is important that we allow ourselves to feel what we feel and to be genuine, we do not have to completely surrender to a dark mood or feelings of self-doubt. In fact, the more we simply allow and accept our darkness as one part of the picture, the more easily we can also allow and accept our light. In this vein, we can temper our gray moods with an injection of sunshine in the form of sending good wishes to ourselves for the next 24 hours. As you picture your day, take the time to fill in the details: where you're going, who you'll see, what you'll do. And send love and good wishes ahead to yourself, as well as everyone you encounter. It will be like arriving in a new place and finding that an old friend has sent a bouquet of flowers from back home to welcome you and remind you you are loved.
That's a really great eye-opener. And I think that it's something that has been encouraged a lot in recent years. to start the day off, I know that a lot of people start their day with some affirmations, which is, I think, a very similar thing. And that is basically you want to inject yourself or get an injection of that positive energy to help you through the day. And of course, there are troubles, there's negative things that we may feel or that we're going through, and the eye-opener did speak a little bit about that. But I like the fact that the eye-opener was mentioning that you have to, or maybe if you think about it and just accept that darkness, which they referred to it as, and just accept that as one part, but then also recognize that there's also light. And with that light, you can, get through the hard times, but also just make your day a bit brighter.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how you send love to 3 p.m. later when I hit my slump. But it is, I do love the aspect of being able to recognize that, like everything else, and we think of kind of the balance that we aim to achieve. You don't have it all roses all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't have it all bad all the time. And the perspective that you have or the outlook that you choose to adhere to is one that will make all the difference. And so for me, I think that part of the eye-opener is really what stands out. It's that the darkness will come, mm-hmm. but so will the light.
Oh yeah, for sure. So even if you do have troubles, I mean, perhaps you could try to think about solutions, or try to think about the best case scenario. I mean, that's something that I try to do as well. Yeah. So I think that, well, this is going to happen, but maybe it's going to work out, or maybe even if it is bad, it's not going to be that bad. So I try.
Such an optimist, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get moving into our weather update for today. And we're going to be optimistic about our weather now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so the general situation?
We are expecting mainly fair conditions to prevail over the country.
All right, the 24-hour forecast is for mostly sunny skies today and clear to partly cloudy tonight with generally isolated showers.
Our winds are going to be blowing from the east at 5 to 15 knots, which will create a light chopped sea state.
All right, and our high temperatures for today are going to be 89 along the coast, 96 inland, and 82 in the hills.
And tonight we are expecting lows of 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 73 inland, and 65 up in the hills. Nice and cool.
All right, and the general outlook is for generally fair conditions with isolated showers for Friday and Friday night.
Yeah.
All right.
And so we want to thank our forecaster, Crystal Rosales, for preparing today's forecast. And it seems that we're going to be having pretty generally fair conditions as we do head into the weekend.
All right, and of course, tropical cyclone formation is not expected in the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, or Gulf of Mexico in the next 48 hours. There's your good news for today.
See? Just what the eye-opener was talking about.
You did. All right, we're going to get moving into our show for today.
Yep. We've got a lot of interesting conversations for this morning. We're going to be starting off our show speaking about some outstanding women who have a diverse range of accomplishments, and we're going to be hearing from three very outstanding and accomplished women for our first conversation this morning.
All right. And the second part of our show, we're going to be talking to the Social Security Board about some of the activities they have lined up for their 40th anniversary. There are opportunities that you can take advantage of, and we do encourage you to tune in.
And finally, we are going to be discussing a film, The Tragic Jungle, which is a movie that stars Belizean actors. And it's going to be available for viewing on Netflix this month. And we are going to be speaking with some of the actors from the film for our final conversation.
All right. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. But before we do,
we have some birthday greetings to give, and we've got two this morning. So from all of us at Open Your Eyes and Channel 5, we want to wish a very happy birthday to Una Welch, and we also want to wish a really, really happy birthday to Bria Ferguson. And Bria's turning 14 today, so happy birthday. We hope you have many, many, many more, and we wish you all the best on your special day. But with that, we are going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we are going to be speaking with some outstanding female youths. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you going on, man?
But actually come see you because I need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just ran out to the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have that thing? What are you going?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
And we're back, and we're just jumping into our first conversation for this morning. As we said before the break, we are speaking with some outstanding women who are excelling in their respective fields. And this morning we're highlighting all of their different accomplishments in our conversation. So joining us via Zoom, we have Erin Garnett, who is the manager and the manager of the Public Relations Department of the Belize City Council. We also have Sabrina Daly, a very familiar face here, who is a communications officer from the Department of Youth Services. And we also have Dominique Norales, who is the regional representative for the Caribbean and Americas in the Commonwealth Youth Council. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Gavin. Hi, Marlene.
Hi, it's great to have all of you here, and such a distinguished panel this morning, I should say. But we wanted to highlight some of all of your accomplishments, especially considering that all of you respectively are so young. So let's talk a little bit about, or let's get an introduction then, and I'll just go in order that I have it here. So before we talk about the accomplishments, why don't we start with Erin? Let's talk a little bit about you, who you are, and how you grew up, and sort of what your aspirations were.
Okay. Good morning, Gavin and Marlene. Thank you for having me. I'm currently the communications manager of the PR department of the Belize City Council. That means I am responsible for the team that's responsible for outputting information to the public, keeping everybody informed, but also for making sure that the residents' complaints are addressed. I've always wanted to be in a role where I could support myself financially, but also be making a difference in the community. And I feel like this is exactly what I'm doing every day.
Okay. And Sabrina?
All right. Well, where do I begin? I'm the public relations officer for the Department of Youth Services. I've been there for a minute. I've sat in the chairs there quite a bit as well. But I'm also a news anchor now for Channel 5, and that's pretty exciting as well. How do I say this? I have no idea how I got here. But I feel like it began when I started volunteering. That's the best way I can say it. I volunteered after I came out of high school, and that kind of transitioned into a lot of opportunities, some really amazing opportunities. So, yeah.
Okay. And finally, Dominique.
Hi, good morning. Dominique Norales, newly elected regional representative for the Caribbean and Americas Commonwealth Youth Council. like Sabrina, I've sat in that chair many times. I was going through my campaign material and I saw so many pictures of Marlene and I was like, man, I've been on that set a lot. But yeah, that's just a bit about me so far. I don't know where exactly to start, but that's my intro.
Well, here's one thing that you all have in connection, and I really wanted to hone in on that this morning. All of you have been very active as young people, as volunteers. So by choice, you decided to get involved with agencies that kind of led to your own professional accomplishments. Dominique, you joked about you being on the chair. It was, what, as BFLA, and then youth policy, and then I think UB. There was a UB period as well, or a university level.
There was a lot.
Yeah. So let's talk about your, like, what makes you, as a young person, with all the competing priorities you have, school, friends, social media, fun, what makes you decide to spend your time with an organization to do some good in the country? Start with you, Dominique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've always felt it important to give back, no? I have been privileged enough to have gotten opportunity and investment in my own human capital from people from a very young age. And so I always wanted to give back, and I don't like stay home. So that probably one of the reasons as well. I don't really like stay home, but I just feel like I have to give back and pay it forward. And so I find organizations that are in line with my ideals or the ideals that I thought I wanted to learn. And that's how my journey started.
Yeah. So just because you didn't want to stay home, you wanted to find something to engage in.
Yeah.
All right. And for the other two ladies, what was your catalyst behind getting involved?
I could really go ahead, Erin.
Okay. So I think for me, it was really the people around me, my parents, my family. They're very into giving back. And when I was younger, I saw my parents putting up different organizations or basketball championships and including other people in the community, young men, and just really giving them something positive to do. So I grew up around a lot of that. And I think that really encouraged me to, decide to do my part.
Yeah. What about you, Sabrina?
Well, I can definitely resonate with Dominique. First off, I had no idea that I would even be volunteering. I live in Borough Boom for most of my life. I've just kind of stayed in Borough Boom. And I think it was exactly what Dominique said. I wanted to be a part of something bigger, but I also did not want to be at home. For me, when I graduated high school, I was also going, when I graduated high school, I was volunteering and I was going to junior college at the time. And I had a lot of responsibilities on my plate. So I was volunteering, and then I still came home and I had my home responsibilities as well. My mom did catering, so a lot of people didn't know that when I left from school and volunteering, I went home and I would make tamales with my mom, and yeah, that was my routine. And I just remember thinking, man, I want more than this. And that's not to say that anything is wrong with how I grew up, because it's really humbling, and I can make tamales with my eyes closed. I absolutely love tamales, but I know that I wanted more, and I wanted to contribute to something bigger. Like I said, I had no idea that it would lead me to where I am now, but it was such a humbling experience, and it was quite a ride that I have to say I'm really grateful to have been a part of.
Yeah. And that's such a critical point. How would you say that, and each of you can chime in if you want, how would you say that working with organizations, volunteering time, how has that helped to shape you for your life as you moved into adulthood? Did it make a difference?
Definitely. For me, I think it's the people that I've met along the way. I've had opportunities to meet people both locally and internationally. I've been given the opportunity to be on platforms that I had never imagined I would have been. I traveled because of volunteering. So it really shaped me to be the adult that I am now. The experiences that I've had, the networking that I've been able to be a part of. The only thing I can say is I know that I would not have been the adult that I am now had I not volunteered.
Yeah. Who wants to go next? Dominique?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, well, Of course, I think we are this collection of all of our experiences, all the people we have met, all the stories we have connected with. And so I know for a fact that I wouldn't have been the person I am today without the family, without the mentors, without the guidance. It played a huge role in shaping who I am. And even today, I come in contact with so many people that really helped raise me and shape my worldview. And I am thankful, very thankful, that it was the right kind of people and that I picked up the right kind of habits and that I really shaped my own worldview based on that. It wasn't that I was a copy and a CC, a carbon copy, but they really helped me and really fueled my own curiosities and encouraged me to be curious and encouraged me to ask questions and just be myself in all places. So definitely would not have been the person I am today without that volunteering, without picking up those ideals that you otherwise will not pick up without volunteering.
Let me just press a little further there. As we watch images of you representing Belize as a youth all over the world, really, what is the impact of seeing your country from the outside at such a young age?
That is life-changing because you get a new worldview. Like you get to understand, one, how lucky we are, and then also you get to understand, wow, there are some things that we really need to do better. And so you really get an idea to really hone in what you advocate for, what your activism is about, and where you're most needed. And of course, you get to understand what your own passions are. Because without having that other lens of the world and meeting these other people of different cultures and understanding what makes them tick and what makes them happy, it really gives you something that you otherwise would not have gotten. And representing Belize has been one of my greatest joys. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, something.
I can also agree with Dominique in that. Yeah. Go.
No, go ahead, Sabrina.
Well, I was just going to say that I can definitely agree with Dominique. I too have been given several opportunities to represent Belize internationally, and it has been such a culture shock many times because the things that you learn other countries are dealing with from a youth perspective, it really is humbling for us, or for myself, because I think of, man, Belize really not a struggle like that, and that's the best way to put it. But there are other times as well, you're like, man, we really need to do better. We really need to do enough. So for me, that's definitely one of the biggest things that kind of stood out for me. And also the way Dominique explained, I feel like when I had the opportunity to represent the youth and Belize on those platforms, it really gave me an idea to find out what exactly I wanted to focus on as a young activist. Mm-hmm.
You know, what I also find interesting about all of you all in your respective roles is that all of your roles require a lot of engagement with the public and or a lot of engagement, a lot of exposure, dealing with lots of people or lots of people seeing you. And I'm wondering how it feels to sort of put yourself out there like that. Do you ever get nervous? Having to deal with the public or dealing with public scrutiny, and how do you overcome any feelings of nervousness or self-doubt? Perhaps, Erin, you can take that one first.
Yeah, well, being a public relations manager, you're basically out there all the time, every day, selling this message. You do get nervous sometimes as a young person, but basically, I just keep in mind that it's going to be okay if because, the council, we focus on transparency. You go out there and you tell the truth, and it all works itself out.
Yeah. All right.
For me, one of the people have this this idea that I do love being on the media and I love doing all of this. And yes, it's an enjoyable part of the experience, but it's all really learned behavior. I'm very much shy, very much introverted. So even before coming on here this morning, I had to give myself a little bit of a pep talk. Okay, Dominique, just like you've done this before, calm down, you're fine. And being open to public scrutiny, definitely something that I use my block button on social media a lot for. And I don't answer the calls I don't want to answer. So it's really just creating those boundaries for me. I know Erin can't really do that because Erin has to be as responsible. Erin has to be as responsible. For me, I choose who I want to interact with. And that's the only way I could stay sane because other people don't have boundaries set up. So I have to set it up for myself.
And it's extremely important to remember as well that whether you're doing good or doing bad, either way, people will talk. So just focus on your message.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yep, Sabrina, you want to take that one too?
I mean, if anyone knows me, they know I'm a nervous wreck. Anxiety takes over every single day for both news and just being on shows like this. So I definitely have to prepare myself every single time. When I started communications for Department of Youth Services, that felt like baptism by fire. But as Dominique said, it is alert behavior. You have to prepare yourself and you have to just know your content. On the news side, that's a whole other story. I'm about to get into that. I remember when I did my first newscast, I want to say the internet can really intimidate you at times. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm about to do the news. I made sure that I did not tell a lot of people that it was my first news night. A lot of people did not know that I was going to be on the news. Only like my close family and close friends. So when it was out there, it was just out there. And apart from that, I just have to really protect my personal mental space. I have to make sure that I have enough boundaries to protect my mental state, because it's hard. It's really hard. But I think if you carry yourself in a way that you know you respect yourself and you're doing what you know is right, then it all works out.
So we started off looking at how you first got involved as volunteers and how it has helped to shape you as professional young adults. Dominique, let's talk about your recent election. This is really exciting news, and I wanted to hear your backstory about why you put yourself forward and even the process of campaigning as well.
Yeah, so this has been a very different sort of election, Marlene.
Yeah.
Very, very much different. This election was supposed to happen in 2020. The pandemic came, and so the Commonwealth Head of Government meetings that were supposed to happen got postponed. They have since been postponed again, but they decided to go ahead with the election for the Commonwealth Youth Council. So I applied in 2020, and they got the postponement, and I told myself, well, I'm not going to apply again. And then I spoke to a mentor, and he kind of convinced me that, Dominic, you have all the requisite skills to get this done and get it done well. So I put my name up again, and we went through the process with over 500 applicants from across the Commonwealth of 54 nations. Wow. And so I got chosen, shortlisted as a nominee, and I went through the process. It was a very short campaign period, about just under a month, and I ran against a colleague from Trinidad and Tobago. I won the election, and it was so exciting, but also very scary, right? Because the campaign was very different. Like, we usually get to be on the ground and campaign and canvass, which is what I would have been used to. But you have to be online and use newsletters and use WhatsApp and use video calls. And so people can be non-responsive just because of the sheer volume of candidates that we had. 40 candidates that had to campaign to each national delegate. And since then, since winning, there are a couple of investigations going on right now. And so the final listing has not been put forward. But it should be in the next week or so, because it's a long list of investigations. And so the transparency part of the electoral board has to kick in. But for the most part, I am safe. I didn't break any rules. So I'm pretty confident in my positioning.
What does it mean for you? Explain to people who don't understand how the council works or why it's relevant. What does this mean?
It means every time I do anything that is outside of the borders of Belize, I always say it is for my country first. And I really want for people to understand that we are capable of doing anything we want to do. And that sounds so cliche, but putting Belize on a good footing and having anyone who comes after me. So any other Belizean that decides to run for anything in the Caribbean region, in the Commonwealth, in the international space, they will know that, okay, this is the standard to which Belizeans operate. This is our work ethic. This is our personality. We are colorful, we are intelligent, and we don't have to sacrifice any of those things to make up for another. And so for me, I want to embody all that I want people to see Belize as. So I want them to understand that, yes, we are a diverse people. I want them to understand that, yes, there is excellence in Belize, but I also want us to get the work done. I am not a fan of the pageantry of this type of work. I want the work to get done, and I want it to be done well. And so that is the premise that I start from, doing the work well.
Having all worked as youth activists, and as you move now into adulthood as young adults and professionals, what concerns you most about what our youth population are facing today? I know you're still youths, but you're on a different level now.
I think what concerns me most is the lack of opportunities. Recently we did a youth highlight, which I guess is how the idea came about of incorporating me into the show. I remember during graduation season, which is actually now so many people are graduating from UB and from SJC, JC, and a lot of people are saying, what now? What do I do? I have this education, I worked hard, where do I go from here? A big part of why we did that was to kind of have like a, show hope, inspiration. There is something you can do after. There are opportunities out there. While now it may be slim, I think just consistency. So that was like my main concern at this time.
Sabrina?
Oh, okay, I was waiting to see which one. For me, when I think of something that concerns me, and I mean, this comes from the PR for Department of Youth Services. One of the biggest struggle we've always had was youth involvement. And while, it varies in different areas where young people would be involved in volunteering and youth work, I always wonder if we're somehow losing our motivation to try harder to get out there and volunteer. At that time, I had no idea that when I was volunteering, I had no idea that it would come with these opportunities. And I just wish that other young people would also get out there and be a part of it, would also just volunteer because you want to give back to the community. I don't really see that as much as I did back when I was volunteering at that time. And maybe it's because my lens is focused on a different area, but I do wish I would see more young people out volunteering and just giving back to their community.
Yeah. And Dominique?
Yes. Paul Lopez recently did a story on this election win that I had, and he asked a lot of questions. In fact, that interview got more emotional than I thought it would have gotten. And I told him that I checked my privilege at the door, right? I come from, of course, a humble background and from Southside Belize City, and all of these things are true, and all of them helped me to make me who I am. But I've also been very, very privileged. To even sit on this TV station now is a privilege. And so when I talk about what should inspire young people and the issues that face young people, for me, it always starts from my most immediate experience, which is crime and violence. And that stems from a lack of opportunity, like the young ladies mentioned before. And opportunity may be available, but it may not be accessible. And there are so many things that block people from getting opportunities. Passing through neighborhoods that is unsafe for them, getting transportation, getting food to make sure that you could function in our meeting that lasts 6-7 hours. These are the things that I think about quite often. And so, yes, there is a lack of opportunity or a limited opportunity, but the issue for me has always been access to opportunity and who gets access to those opportunities. There is so much we can discuss about why young people seem so apathetic to politics. I am going through right now an election battle that shouldn't be happening at all, but it's because we are so influenced by the toxicity of politics. I have the wherewithal. I've been through worse, so I'm fine. But other young people might not have the wherewithal that I do. And so all of these things we have to think about, in discussing the issues that affect young people today in Belize.
Yeah. I guess go ahead.
I was just going to say, I completely agree with Dominique, but I also think that Dominique would agree as well, that it would be so great, and this is something I try to do every day in my job, to not only involve Belize City residents, but youth or younger Belize City residents for them to understand how politics work. For example, the Belize City Council, how decisions are made, who are the councillors. A lot of people, you know, can't really identify. That's why I try to put as much information out there so people can get familiar.
Yeah, yeah. That's such a critical point, though, and we've talked about it many times before. I'm pretty sure, Dominic, you've been here for this conversation about how to get young people engaged. And when we say politics, we don't mean partisan politics. We mean policies and how the country is governed. Yeah.
Precisely.
And it's what different departments are responsible to do different things. Sometimes people are going to the wrong sources to get things done.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And that's when I asked the first question about what made you get involved. That's the critical point, because what's the difference between you and your friends, for example? The level of engagement and what they think of you having volunteered before or having a public role in some kind of community-related work.
Go ahead, Dominique, go ahead.
Well, what you asked about what our friends think.
Yeah. What's the difference between you and, let's say, your friends who don't get engaged to the level that you do?
Well, my friends always think I try to save the world. That's what they tell me. That I try to save the world. Really, there's a poet from the Caribbean, I believe, or for the African continent. Amilcar Cabral is his name, and he has this famous quote, and he says that I am a simple African man trying to make a difference in the context of my own country, in the context of my own time. I'm paraphrasing there, of course. And so that is how I look at it. I can't save the world, right? But I could make an impact on the people who I care the most about, the country I care the most about, the most beautiful country in the world, Belize, and with the most beautiful people. And so that's how I look at it. And my friends really, they're supportive for the most part, but they also tell me that I always try to save the world. And the difference between them and Marlene, I think everyone has a role, right? I don't think everybody have to be like me. No, I don't want that. I don't think it should be like that. I think everyone should find whatever it is that they're passionate about, and do it to the best of their ability. And so that's how I really look at that.
Yeah. Anyone else wants to chime in on that one?
Well, my friends, they always say, I don't want to do what you do. But they've always been very supportive, and because they're not very into it, I try to get them into it, try to explain them what I do and how I do it, and again, how decisions are made within the council, and just so they get involved, follow the pages, learn about the updates.
Yeah.
But, Dominique also brought up something interesting, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, but the word that you used was toxicity of politics. And of course, Erin, you also said, no matter what you do, no matter good or bad, people do talk, and there will, and with that comes negative opinions. Sabrina, you also spoke about, being scared of the reactions of people on the internet based on the scrutiny. How do you deal with the negative aspects of, the public parts of your respective roles?
Well, I think I have a go, right, at this one. When I was campaigning, so there's a group chat. So part of the campaign was a huge group chat with all the national delegates who voted and candidates. And there was this young person from Trinidad and Tobago who put a message in the group chat and said that, why am I running for this when Belize doesn't have a national council? And what have I done more than attend conferences and give speeches? My initial reaction, now if you know me, you know what was my initial reaction, right? But like I said, I learned diplomacy along the way, diplomacy and talk. And so I responded to him because he had the right to ask it. I just didn't like how he asked it. So when I deal with public scrutiny, this one will sound a bit overly confident, but I'd first say that you wouldn't have the courage to do what I am doing right now. And you don't hold a candle to me, which is why you're asking me this question so aggressively. And secondly, like I said, I choose who I wish to speak to. And I speak to people who speak to me with respect. Because what is most important to me in this space, whatever space I occupy, is the respect people give me. Because I give everyone respect, no matter what position they have. From the custodian to the prime minister gets the same respect from me. And so that is what I operate on. When I get disrespected, I respond with diplomacy and tact, and then if it escalates, I employ whatever mechanisms there are to alleviate that issue. And we try not to let it escalate to a point where I have to become who I otherwise don't want to be, right? So that is how I deal with scrutiny and the toxicity of politics. Listen, it takes a lot of patience. I have to remember that, you know, I know the pan outside of the city and in our gang. So I can't respond like that, right? So that's how I deal with it, Gavin.
Yeah.
For me, I have to say that the type of work that we do, it's unavoidable. You can't run away from people feeling how they feel, and everyone has a right to their own opinion. But in my line of work, where I work on the media and I also do communications work for the department that I'm at, I feel like I've just kind of tried to weed out what I thought was deserving of a response. And generally, if someone does give a reaction to something that I would do, just like Dominique would said, I try to remind myself that they're not in my shoe. Especially with the news, it's really easy to be hard on yourself because people might think, you know, you're just reading something, so you shouldn't make a mistake, or why you said it that way. I just try to remind myself that they're not in my shoes. They have no idea what I'm feeling, what it's like. And I think if people would actually do it, they would realize that it's not easy. And it goes the same for communications work for Department of Youth Services. You have to represent the entire youth body of Belize. And that's a really heavy burden. And I try my best to do it to the best of my ability. So I feel like ultimately, if I know that I'm doing what is right, oh my gosh, those are some really old photos. But if I'm doing what I know is right, stay focused.
Yes.
I think people have a lot of courage that they otherwise wouldn't have behind a Facebook profile, and a lot of them are fake profiles. So like Sabrina said, weeding them out. And I also take the same approach. I look at the comments we're receiving, the negative comments in particular. If I think they're just coming from a place of anger and resentment and what they're saying is basically baseless, then I would never go back and forth. But I see if a citizen that is genuinely concerned, I'll definitely make the effort to reach out to the necessary department to make sure that their concerns are addressed.
Yeah. Now, ladies, we are running out of time very quickly. But before we go, I do want to ask, you know, we're talking about the roles and all of your accomplishments thus far. But I want to know sort of what's next or on the horizon and some of your ambitions as you know, in the future, having already gotten such a good start. So why don't we start with Dominique?
I wasn't expecting to be the first one. What's next? Well, I just want to do well in this role, first and foremost. Yeah. It's 2 years. At the end of this tenure, I will also be coming to an end of my university experience at the University of West Indies, Cave Hill. So that is going to be a double celebration. So I know to get there, it's going to take a lot of work. So for me, next is just doing well in school, and doing well in this role, and then we'll see where life takes us after that.
Erin?
Well, so far I have a bachelor's in communications, so I'm thinking I want to find the time to get a master's in public international communications and kind of just go as far as I can with the PhD doctorate.
Nice.
Good. And Sabrina?
Well, I feel like I kind of have to juggle two hats in the sense of I love both media and communications, and I have to be careful how I speak because I am talking in front of my boss. But I definitely would like to explore media a little bit more. I definitely enjoy my role at Channel 5. It has been such a journey. I can remember when I began and how much of a challenge it was, but to where I am now, I have definitely seen growth, and I would definitely love to grow a lot more in that capacity. Yeah. Apart from that, there's the communication side. That's also a baby of mine, and I would love to continue in that path. And I don't know. Maybe I explore other areas that I can work in communications as well.
And just, your advice, everybody, to the young graduates who are going to collect their diplomas over the course of this month, young women and even young men. What do you say to them at this point in their journey?
Can I start?
Yes, of course.
My thing is always, and this is what I go by every day, is be consistent. I think coming up with a game plan and saying I'll execute it is the easiest part, but waking up every single day and staying on that part is where it gets hard. So consistency is key. And also, before we close off, I just want to extend thanks to my mayor, CA, and all of my counselors for pushing me every single day, giving me new projects, and for also trusting me with their message to release the residents.
Nice. Sabrina?
I think what I definitely want to say is congratulations for graduating first and foremost, but also to remember that in a time where we're advancing, we're becoming more modern, give yourself something else that can give you an edge. Volunteering was what did it for me. So definitely get yourself out there and network. You're never too young to start doing that. Simply by joining a youth group or volunteering with an organization and learn about it. I can remember when I graduated high school, the first place that I went, and I had no idea about it, I had never been to it, was the Museum of Belize. I walked at the gates of the Museum of Belize and I was like, hi, can I volunteer here today? I came off the bus and I went to the museum and I asked to volunteer. And I think that would definitely give you an extra push in the right direction because you meet people along the way. They always say a degree isn't enough anymore. A lot of people get opportunities by not even having degrees now. So make sure you do the extra work, volunteer with people. Please volunteer.
Yeah. And Dominique?
Yes. My message is accommodation of two of those, these lovely young ladies who I get the opportunity to work with as well. The first is dare to be. Do that thing where you're not supposed to do. Legal things. Do the things where seem out of normal. Like, not do what you're supposed to do. Not follow. If you're passionate about, I don't know, tea making, go make tea. If you're passionate about honey, go do that. And to end with that, you follow your passion. Because like Erin said, when things get hard, I'm sure Erin has some really tough days at the city council.
I do.
At the city council. So when it gets hard, what keeps Erin going, I'm sure, is the passion she has for her job. So if you don't have passion, and if you know to follow what you want to do, and you're not daring yourself, and you're not pushing your own boundaries, then you won't be stuck. And so find what you're passionate about, and do it, and do it, and do it again, and do it. Put your full force at it.
That's right. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us this morning. It was a really great conversation, and sharing or hearing all of your different perspectives and stories has really been a pleasure, and I'm sure our viewers have enjoyed it too. So, ladies, thanks once again, and please stay safe.
Thank you too.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you too. Have a great day.
All right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
and with that, we are going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we are going to be speaking all about the 40th anniversary of the Social Security Board. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back after the break.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky, and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime, while with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
And we're back, and we're just getting our second conversation for this morning started, and we're speaking all about the Social Security Board's 40th anniversary. And here to talk about this very important milestone, we have joining us this morning Chandra Crancino, who is the General Manager for Corporate and Customer Relations Services with the SSB. Good morning.
Good morning, Gavin. Good morning, Marlene. Good morning, Belize. And good morning and happy anniversary to my colleagues and all the staff at the Social Security Board.
Great, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, 40 years, of course, that's a really big milestone. What does celebrating the 40th anniversary mean to you?
Well, we are as old as Belize, because remember we started in 1981, at the same year that Belize got its independence. And for Social Security, 40 years of our 40-year anniversary means giving back. People always equate Social Security with, paying contributions and increasing payments and all of that. And so this year, despite the limitations and the circumstances of the pandemic, we want to give back as much as we possibly can in a very effective way.
That's right. And you have been, we know that there's quite a bit that's been happening, a transformation of the SSB as you turn 40. That seems like the right age to do it, right?
Definitely. So we're officially adults now because the Social Security platform is now going online. And so we have the online services that are slowly becoming available. And we hope to complete that entire transformation by the end of this year, which again would be in collaboration with our 40th anniversary. So you will be seeing us, coming off and on, talking about the changes, because there's a lot that is happening in regards to the change in the way we do things and the availability of services to the public.
Yeah.
And so we will be coming on to the media, we will be coming to the media, we will be coming to the public to make sure that you get as much information as you possibly can.
So the official anniversary was on June 1st.
June 1st, yes.
And so you have activities that's going to span for the rest of the month. And you started off with celebrating June 1st babies?
Yes. we figured, well, we look to staff to give us ideas of how to do things differently. And our staff is always, wants to make an impact on people and on the community. Mm-hmm. So, they said, well, we celebrate New Year's babies. Why not celebrate June 1st babies? And so we did take that initiative. We did take that idea. And yesterday we visited some of the hospitals around Belize. And we delivered packages to all the babies that were born on June 1st. Mm-hmm. So actually, I could tell you, because we had a discussion about this and they were saying, well, I wonder how many packages we need to make, how many babies are going to be born. I said, well, we have to prepare for the baby boom that might be a result of the pandemic. So we had no idea how many babies will be born. Uh-huh. And so we, yesterday, and we did it primarily for the public health system, right? So these are babies that were born into the public health system. And so there were actually 9 babies born yesterday. 5 at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, 1 in Belmopan, 1 in Corozal, 1 in Orange Walk, and 1 in Santa Elena. And so I think we reached out to the babies, to the moms in Carl Huchner and Belmopan yesterday, and we will be reaching out to the other ones today to give them their package. And what we gave them was a baby package, a bag, Social Security memorabilia that would be applicable to them. It has a piggy bank. It's never too early to start saving, the usual diapers, baby wipes, and the stuff. It's been a while, so it's the stuff that babies need.
Yeah.
And also, the bag for the mom, so she can carry her baby things and all the things that go along with a born baby. So we delivered those yesterday, and we will be getting the other ones out today. And it was such a rewarding experience. Of course, moms have no idea on June 1st that they would be getting a bag from anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's very much a surprise to them as well.
Well, I'll say you should be lucky that it's not, your anniversary isn't in September. That's when most babies are born.
Most babies, yes, that's right, Marlene. It's September, and then I think July, and then August are the high months.
Well, yes, you would know those statistics because you're at Social Security for the maternity benefits. Yes. And so, in celebrating your anniversary, it's also a moment that you've taken to kind of take stock of where you are. And like every other sector, Social Security has also been impacted by COVID-19 on multiple fronts. In reduction in employment, that's a reduction in contributions, and then also in being able to ensure that you could pay out, whether it's sick or unemployment or even funeral benefits. Talk to us about taking stock 1 year later.
Well, we're still in the process of doing that, and we're looking at the effects that we have had to endure as a result of the pandemic. And so we're trying to move forward as effectively as possible. So financially, things are slowly coming back. People are slowly going back to work. But what we also did was we geared one of our initiatives towards the circumstances of the pandemic. And that is the one that we call Empowering 40, where we realized that, and I think COVID, the pandemic opened our eyes in a lot of areas. And so we have a lot of persons that are unemployed due to the pandemic. And we see that the learning a skill or learning a trade has helped to bridge that gap for so many people. And so what we are going to do is to provide that for 40 persons, again, 40 symbolic because of the 40th anniversary, is to provide that opportunity for 40 Belizeans. And so we have a application form that it's very simple, short, fill out with a few requirements, and those are specifically that you have to be unemployed as a result of the pandemic between the ages of 21 and 40, and you have to be able to complete the course. The courses are generally about 6 weeks long, and they will be in areas such as cake decorating, sewing, barbering, food preparation, catering, etc. And so we want to give persons who feel like they can benefit from an opportunity like this a chance to do so. So Social Security will be covering the cost of it, and we are encouraging persons to either nominate someone or nominate yourself, fill out the form and submit it, and we will be selecting 40 persons for an opportunity like that.
So this is an interesting initiative, because what you're trying to do is get people from unemployed to self-employed.
Well, it could be self-employed. I think the initiative is more to empower persons who may find themselves in a place where they're unemployed as a result of the pandemic. So if you do cake decorating, maybe you can work for someone who does cake decorating, or as you said, Marlene, you can start your own cake decorating service. Likewise with the food preparation, you can maybe get an opportunity in the tourism industry, or you can start your own little catering businesses. So for us, it's very much about empowering our Belizeans in a time when perhaps they can't do it for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's one of the initiatives that you have ongoing. You're also going to be inaugurating a new building?
Yes, we are going to inaugurate. I think many people know about the new Social Security building that we have in Belmopan. It's not a Social Security building per se, because it will not be housing Social Security offices. It is an investment project, and so the building was built so that the Social Security can make, for want of a better word, make money off the rental property. So it's really an investment so that we can bridge some of these gaps. Actually, our investment portfolio has been helping us a lot during the pandemic, because the income from the investment has been helping us to cover our expenses that we lost as a result of the collections. And so these investment projects are very important. So it's a building built by Social Security, but it is not a Social Security office. So this building will house several different companies or organizations. I think at this time the 5 C's, I don't want to attempt to say what the 5 C's, I might make a mistake. But the climate change office is now there. I think UNDP office is now there. And so that is the purpose of the building. It's a very nice building, and it will be named the David L. McCoy Business Center. And so that will be inaugurated on the 9th of June. And we will be giving more information about who David McCoy is and why the building is named the David McCoy Business Center. But I could give you a quick little, David McCoy was one of the first ministers, actually I think he was the first minister of labor, and he was very much into the union movement and very much into workers' rights, and so we thought he was we had a contest and there were many submissions. He's somebody from Belmopan, originally from Stan Creek. I think he was a standard bearer for Stan Creek West for many years. And so we will be sharing more information about him when we inaugurate the building on June 9th.
Okay. And as we look forward to more to come for your anniversary, let's just divert from a bit to one of your regular programs that you have, and that's the scholarship program.
Yes. Yes, the scholarship program is near and dear to us, especially in these times. Well, last year was the first scholarship application time during a pandemic. Of course, we saw the increase in applicants, go significantly higher. And I think what we are trying to promote is the the VOTEC scholarship opportunities, because in addition to these courses that we are offering for the Empowering 40 initiative, we also have vocational technical scholarship opportunities under our scholarship program that for some reason people don't maximize. And I think this is a time where, and so we kind of decided to mention it separately and beyond the other ones. So to get persons to apply. So these are the IT vet, for example, courses that you can apply for. Our uptake on this particular program has always been very low, and I don't know, we try our best to inform persons. It's out there on the scholarship flyers, but we tend to get a lot more of the high school and associates and bachelors as opposed to the VOTEC. So we want to remind persons that we have 10 scholarships available for these VOTEC opportunities. And so if you know anyone that wants to apply, in fact, sometimes we don't even get 10 applications.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so we want to remind persons that these are opportunities that, you know, you should not miss to be able to empower yourselves and to be able to get that extra skill that you may need, you know, as in these trying times. So yes, that's the one we highlight this year, but we also give, let me double check here. We have 31 high school scholarships, 17 associate scholarships, and of those, the board of directors this year is asking that we ensure that 2 of them are for math students, because we see a need in our society for actuarial studies and things that we think we need to kind of promote. And so of the 17 associate degrees, 2 will be for persons who are in I think they also call it the STEM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's technology, engineering, and math
okay.
areas. And then we have 3 bachelor's scholarships. So please take advantage of these opportunities. The scholarship portal is already open. The application process is all online. And if you need any assistance or you have any questions, just contact us at the Customer Care Center and we will be able to give you all the information that you need.
Yeah. I'd imagine that you're going to have quite a bit of entries this year for the scholarship program. And we do hope that people take advantage of the vocational one as well. Yes. Because that's also a good opportunity for people to gain access to more employment. Now, looking back at the commemoration of your anniversary, the direction moving forward, as you noted earlier, is kind of getting involved in the digital platform. What else is on the horizon for SSB Beyond 40?
Well, the movement onto the digital platform is our priority at this time.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge project, and it is something that will offer an option for it. This new board of directors is very customer centric. They very much want to ensure that, you know, customers are given the options that are available, that we're making life easier for them. We're not making it more complicated, and you know, so that is the focus is making the online platform available. As it relates to the anniversary activities, we're also going to start a little, what they call the Facebook Live, where we have a little contest in-house to try to name the program. Mm-hmm. But it's also, again, using social media in a positive way, because we know that social media can be used in all sorts of ways. It's using it in a positive way where we want to go live, this new go live world on Facebook, and share information about Social Security and be able to answer questions in real time. Because one of the things that we notice is that there is so much misinformation about Social Security. So much people really, we've made some inroads, but we really have a long way to go in teaching people what Social Security really is. You know, we have a lot of legacy issues that have tainted the image of Social Security. So, you know, anytime you post something on Social Security, oh, they're thief and a lie, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But people don't really understand how much of an investment in their own selves that Social Security can provide. And so we are going to try to use the platform, especially to the younger population, to try and educate them and to explain to them, and so that they have a better understanding about what Social Security is and how they can use it to their advantage.
Do you think that people sufficiently make use of the benefits that Social Security provides? I mean, beyond sick days or maternity leave?
I think it has been improving it, and it has been increasing. In the past, I think there were a lot of persons who don't make claims because of the perceived red tape, or they say, oh, it takes too long, might as well I know. But because we are changing the way we do things and we're making the processes easier, those persons who may have not wanted to make a claim because of not wanting to go through the process are now, going online, making their Social Security claims. And so I think there is a little shift from, yes, persons being a little bit reluctant and not maximizing the opportunities, to now persons being a little bit more open to starting the processes. And we have the customer support. So if you have any questions, you don't have to go to the office and stand in the line and answer a question. You can access us from many channels. So yes, there probably was a reluctance in the past, but now I think people are maximizing it a little bit more. We are now a lot more in the public domain talking about our services. So I think the uptake is a little bit more now because of those things.
All right. So of course, today we are reminding people about the opportunities for scholarships for schools at different levels, for the vocational and technical studies scholarships, and of course, the Empowering 40. Where do people apply, Chandra?
The form is available online. Remember, we're still in the pandemic world, and so it has really pushed our move online much faster than we probably would have moved. Mm-hmm. So everything is available on our website. We also have the instant chat option on our website. So if you go on the website and you either can't find it, or you have a question about the form or anything, you can use that option and get an answer immediately. So everything is available at this time on the Social Security website.
What's the deadline? We didn't get into some of the criteria for the Empowering 40.
The Empowering 40 deadline is the 22nd of June.
Okay.
Yes, and so the applicants must be between the ages of 21 and 40, be a born Belizean, have Social Security number or card, be unemployed due to the COVID pandemic, and demonstrate the ability to complete the program. Because we will invest in you, and we want to make sure that you are able to complete the program, which I think in most cases is about 6 weeks.
And the program is based in Belize City?
No, we are providing the opportunities across the country. Okay. So depending on applications that we get, we're partnering with the YWCA, mm-hmm. And they are going to assist us to provide the services regionally. So we will have the northern region, from the central region, from the southern region. So don't let your location stop you from applying. If you fill the criteria and you are selected, we will make sure that your opportunity is given to you in the area in which you live. And we will be coordinating with persons on a more one-on-one basis as we start to select the names.
And there are only 40 slots for this opportunity.
40 opportunities.
So people need to get in those applications by the deadline, and they may be able to walk away with a new skill set or an enhanced skill set that will open up more opportunities for income. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with us this morning, Chandra?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. Channel 5 is always so gracious to support the sharing of knowledge with the general public. But secondly, to thank the staff of Social Security. We would not be successful, we would not be having a 40-year anniversary without the staff. We have staff members who have been there since the day Social Security opened, who have actually been there for 40 years. I'm only half of that, so I can't. My hats off to them. Yeah. And of course, to every single person at every single branch, we just want to say thank you so much for supporting the Social Security Board, and as well as the customers, and providing the services that Belizeans so very much needed.
All right. Well, thank you for telling us all about it. And of course, we do hope that viewers who perhaps are trying to figure out what to do next after facing unemployment will take advantage of this opportunity. Have a great day, Chandra, and continue to stay safe.
You too, guys. Have a great day.
All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back in a few.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you go on, man?
We actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just ran out to the last batch, must be about like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What you go on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
We're back and we're moving into our final conversation for today. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who spend time on Netflix know this, but we're taking a moment to find out more about what it feels like. I saw the preview over the weekend, coming soon, ladies. And there it is, a Belizean Face movie shot in Belize, Tragic Jungle, premiering on Netflix. We have with us two of the actors in this particular film. We have Indira Andruin, who plays Agnes, and we have Shantae Obisco, who plays Florence, Agnes's older sister. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. And
you know, if I go back to a few years ago when the movie was looking for actors and they were doing the casting call, I mean, I don't think anyone imagined that we'd be here a few years later where it would be accessible to homes all over the world. Ladies, how are you feeling about that?
Well, for me personally, I did not expect it to have come to this point.
Yeah.
When I auditioned, I just thought, I just went in for the experience. And then eventually it was like, the movie got big and we went for more festivals. And it's just been an ongoing excitement ever since we filmed in 2018. And now it's Netflix. And so I'm just super excited for everybody to see it. And I just can't wait.
Indira, you know, was it last year or 2019? Last year, we followed you on the festival runs. As you were representing the movie, because the movie has gotten so much attention from film critics. Talk to us about that experience.
Well, are you talking about like the whole journey going to Venice and all of that?
Yes.
So, like I said, I did not expect all of this happening, and at first, actually, I was just looking for an experience to express myself and to do something, because I was tired of just like sitting back and looking at my phone and watching other people experience things through the screen. So I remember writing down that I wanted to do something, you know, creative. And so I got this opportunity, and I saw the casting for it on Facebook. And when I auditioned, we just made the movie, and that was a very exciting process. And
afterwards, we got accepted to so many festivals, but sadly because of COVID, there was many restrictions to travel, so we couldn't go all the places that we were accepted to. But I'm just so grateful that I got to go to Venice and to Egypt, and those were really crazy experiences because I felt like a celebrity. People were asking me for photographs and autographs, and the critics were just so impressed by the film and writing all their perspectives, and it's just been an unexpected, amazing journey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that for sure is amazing. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about the movie itself? You know, you talked about the interesting process of making it. Let's start with, you know, just the process of, you know, get the subject of the movie and reading the script. So when you first got the script, what were your initial thoughts and about the characters and your own character?
So when I got the script, I already knew, just based on what Yuleni was looking for, that she wanted a Belizean, Creole, tall, brown-skinned girl. So when I read the script, actually, there's not much talking that I had to do. And so I didn't have to do much except express like my emotions. And because the movie is based in Mexico, and it's about a Belizean girl who goes into the jungle in Mexico and is surrounded by all these Mexican chiclero workers. So she doesn't understand Spanish. So there's not a lot of dialogue, but there's a lot of facial expressions and emotions that I have to portray without saying words. And I felt really connected to the character because she's just very calm and chill, and she's a jungle girl. And as you can see, kind of like I've always grown up in nature, so I just feel very comfortable in that environment. And it was more of just getting into my emotions and expressing that. And yeah.
Shantae, tell us your experience. What prompted you to go and audition?
Well, honestly, like Indira, it was just for the experience. I've never had any experience acting or doing anything behind the lens. So when I was on Facebook, I saw the ad and I scrolled past it because I was like, nah, I'm sure they won't want me. They wanted someone who was in their late 20s, and I was 32 at the time, so I didn't think that I would get it. But when I scrolled the next day and I saw it, I said, let me just try it out. And I sent the email, and then just the day before the audition, I saw my email because of my daughter, and I went in, I did it. I didn't expect to get it. Me and Indira went to Cheddar Mall to do our practice, and when they told us that we were gonna get the part, we were so super psyched. We were so excited, and then we went and did the film. It was amazing. Like, Yuleni just made us feel so comfortable. It was like we weren't scared. We didn't have to worry about anything because she made it so comfortable for us. We felt like we were at home. So it was truly amazing. And when Indira and I went to Guadalajara for the film festival, man, we felt like celebrities. Like Indira said, people are there waiting, just excited to see the movie. And when we saw the movie, it was more than what we expected. I'm so happy that our Belizean people can see it. I'm so happy that we brought this for our country. I'm so happy that we can be out there on the big screen, representing Belize.
I mean, you ladies are highlighting multiple things that we can be proud of. One, or good genes, because you're saying they wanted someone a decade younger, and you could rock the part. But secondly, two persons who have never been involved in the film industry before audition, participate in the film, and we must give credit that you worked with an exceptional team, a great director, and a great script always contributes, but you brought this film to life, and it has done so well since then, just really showing that even with untrained talent, what we're able to do. How do you communicate this to people? Like, when you go for a festival and the movie is up for an award, or Indira, you're up for Best Actress, how do you explain to people that you just came out PG and went for an audition and here you are?
Well, I'm a strong believer in taking opportunities when they present themselves, especially if you're from a small town like Punta Gorda. I believe strongly in it. That's why I'm also an entrepreneur, because I believe in creating your own opportunities as well. Don't just sit down and wait for something to come your way, because that might not happen. And a lot of people say, oh, well, for example, like I can't start a YouTube channel because I don't have this equipment, or I have to wait until I'm done taking this course. It's like, just do it now, just grab the opportunity now. You don't know what's going to evolve from that.
Correct.
Yeah. Shantae?
Well, for me, I believe that, well, I grew up in a small town, a small village called Freetown, Cebu. Never have I ever expected something like this to happen for me, but like, it doesn't matter what you feel like you're unable to accomplish. If you have the opportunity to do it, give it your best shot, because you never know where it can lead you.
Yeah.
And because of this film, I have also had the opportunity to work with other film production. I have 2 other films that I'm about to do. I am currently with Beeswood Studios, and I have a film production that's coming from LA in the next couple months that we'll be doing. His name is Byron Akio Martinez. We should be working together soon, so I'm looking forward to all of those opportunities, and I'm looking forward to making the best of it.
And why don't you talk a little bit about the filming process itself? I'm really interested to know, given that it takes place in the forest, and you also had to interact with the Mexican actors as well. So what was that experience
For me, because they were mostly Spanish-speaking people, it was hard to communicate. But because Yuleni speaks Spanish and English, whatever we needed to tell each other, if we were speaking to the Spanish-speaking people, she would translate for us. I know a little bit of Spanish to get around, so it was easy. It was a little bit easier for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't hard at all.
For me, I was there for 7 weeks, and I don't know no Spanish at all. So, but luckily there was 75 people behind the scenes, and a lot of those people did know English. So of course I made my friends with some English speakers, and then I was also open to learning Spanish, so I would still speak to the other Spanish speakers, and I was excited when Shantae would come on set, because I'd be like, yeah, you could translate to me. And
Well, I hope you all walked away with a little bit of Spanish and they walked away with a little bit of Creole.
Yo puedo hablar español un poquito. Un poquito más.
Good job.
Yeah. And what about filming in the forest? What was that like?
Yeah.
Well,
so every morning, well, we would film at different times. Sometimes it would be 4:30 in the morning. We would have to wake up and travel like 2 hours deep inside the jungle. And then sometimes we would film at night, and like the whole night, and then sleep during the day.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm used to the jungle, so I wasn't freaking out. But these people are from Mexico City, so any mosquito, them they complain about, and them they complain how it's humid, and like I'm just like, this is natural for me.
I did think about the mosquitoes when I saw the location.
There was also like doctor flies and sand flies. It's normal though for us, because we have our seasons when we experience those bugs. So it wasn't nothing that we couldn't handle.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one scene in the run. I was by a river and I was supposed to be dead, and the doctor fly was biting me, and I couldn't move because I was supposed to be dead, and I didn't want to ruin the scene, so I just laid there, and oh my God, this doctor fly got full, and it flew away. I was like, why didn't I kill it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's staying in character for
Yeah.
sure. No, but never having had the experience before, very often people see on TV, especially scripted things. They think it's like a one-time, you get in front of the camera, you say something, and that's it. But most often, it's take number 1 to, depending on what kind of day you're having, take number, I won't know, I'll ask you your numbers. Was it ever frustrating? Were you surprised at how naturally you were able to adapt to this new skill set?
I think filming this movie was very practical. So it wasn't like I had to train, like I was a bodybuilder living in England and I had to practice accents and all of that. It was very natural. But we did have to take a lot of scenes sometimes, like just because there was a cloud over the sun, or because the noise or some random reason.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yep. Or just because they want a new angle, even if you think you already did it right.
Correct.
Yeah, for you, Shantae?
For me, well, there were several different scenes that we had to do over, or would just have to take more scenes. Like, for example, one night at 2 a.m. in the morning, we had to be doing a scene where it was raining really hard, and well, it wasn't really rain, but it was raining really hard, and it was very cold. The water was very cold, but we figured it out. We got it done, and I really enjoyed. Even though we had to do it a couple times, it was really amazing. And Yelena made it very easy for us, because even if we were doing something that wasn't right or we had to do something over, she didn't make us feel like she was getting frustrated with us. She made it very easy. We felt like we were with family. We felt like even if you had to do it more than once, it doesn't matter, because you were just trying to perfect what you already did.
Okay. And
I remember that time when we had to do that scene where we had to jump off the boat into the water, and it was cold and it was floating. But we had like 5 different outfits, and we had to do that scene over and over and over. But that's just a part of the journey.
Yeah. And when you saw the finished product, what did you think?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The first time I saw it was in Mexico, on my way to the Venice Film Festival. I had to stay there 2 weeks in order to get my visa to go to Europe. And so I wanted to watch it first before watching it with a whole lot of people, because I knew that, I don't know, I just had to process it by myself. And the first time watching it, I think I had a lot of emotions. Like, I was like, whoa, that's how I look in that scene. Or like, why I never do this? Like, I was very critical. And I was also sad because I shot so much cool scenes, so much scenes that I really enjoyed that didn't make it into the film. But that's just a part of the process.
For me, I first watched it via a link that they sent me on my small little computer, so it wasn't as grand. The first time I watched it, I was just looking at everything that I did wrong. Like, I could have done that better. I could have done that better. So I didn't really enjoy the movie the first time I saw it. But when I was in Guadalajara and we watched it on the huge screen, I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing movie. It reminded me so much of like the scene from Apocalypto, that movie that Mel Gibson did. And I was like, oh man, this reminds me so much of that. And to see Indira and to see everything that we did come to life, it made me feel, it filled me with joy. I can't wait for our Belizeans to see it. And I hope they love it as much as I do.
And that's the question I want to ask. Now that you've seen it and you've moved past kind of your own critique of yourself and your performance and what you know behind the scene, what do you think makes this story so captivating?
I think it's captivating, especially for Belizeans, because it's based on the Ishabai, and a lot of us know of the Ishabai. We've grown up hearing our grandparents talk about it. Some of us have seen the Ishabai. So it relates to us a lot, and it's a very mysterious movie. So most of the movie is up for your own interpretation, but also it's very practical. Like, you can look at it at so many different angles, and every scene keeps you guessing, like, what's gonna happen next? It's like a thriller, like, what's gonna happen? So I'm excited for people to see it and see like their interpretations and their perspectives of the movie.
Yeah. And you know what's going to happen now, right? So we all have a vision of what Ishtabai looks like to us, and then there's a whole new generation that for the rest of their life, your face will be.
In this movie, the Ishtabai isn't in Belize, it's like an evil woman.
Yeah.
In this case, I think it's more of the embodiment of the jungle. Like the Ishtabai is also the jungle, and she is a force that protects nature. Yeah. And so anybody who comes in and harms nature will pay the consequences.
Growing up as a child, we always heard about chicken foot lady, not Ishtabai. Yeah. So being that it was shown in the movie, like the chicken foot lady, I was like, yeah, this was what we were told when we were young. So it's like bringing it to life this time.
For sure. And our cultural folklore, I mean, I don't know how much the little ones know about it now. But I remember it growing up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they still do. But how do you feel now that the release date is soon, and everybody at home and international is going to be able to see this movie? How does that sort of feel now?
Over the 2 years that we've been telling our friends about it, everybody was excited to see it. So now that it's coming out, I'm so happy that they can get to see it now.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our friends are waiting patiently for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super low key, so sometimes I'm just like, I'm not gonna tell anyone. And the other day I was like, you know what? I need to have a screening party. So last minute, being a procrastinator, I'm trying to organize the event. But then with COVID, there's like a restricted amount of people that can make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes in person with me and see their reactions.
So I think it was just this weekend that Netflix put up the coming soon trailer. Or I just saw it this weekend. But what was it like? Because this is a new era of how we watch movies. We used to, and I would love to go back to a movie theater, but we also have one at home as well. What was it like when you see like the promo screening and the coming soon? And that's in your house where everybody will be able to see it.
I'm just, every time something comes up about the movie, I'm just like, oh my God. Like I said, we filmed this movie in 2018. And so before even filming, of just getting the audition, it was an exciting process. And then I got the audition, and then I tell everybody, and then we filmed, and then I tell everybody, and then the festival. So for how long has it been? Like 2.5 years of excitement. Yeah. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
And even after Netflix, when we get Oscars and stuff, I'm just kidding. It's an ongoing excitement.
Yeah. Shantae, tell us.
Yeah, I feel the same. When I got casted for it, I told everybody about it. Everybody that I know, they were like, "Oh, well, good job." And then when we did the movie, it's like, "Oh, great job." And now everyone is like, "Oh my God, you're going on Netflix. This is huge. This is super good. Congratulations. I hope to see it," and so forth. Yeah. I'm very, very happy that we can bring this out, and I'm very happy that there are so many Belizeans in the movie, because it's not just Indira and I. It's like you have Gildan, you have Dippo, you have a guy named Ian, you have the late Nadal. He passed away, unfortunately. He didn't get to see the movie. There's so many Belizeans in it, so I'm glad that our Belizeans can participate in something this big, and we're looking forward to many, many, many more. Yeah. And the Oscars, like in the rest of
Well, I think it's funny because the way you explained it just now, it's like the biggest reaction was that you'd go on Netflix. Although your festival circuit last year, that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was. It was, and you know, when I was there and we were in this nice hotel and everything, it didn't really hit me until like everybody was coming around and, you know, people were staring. It's like, you know, is this really what, I know we didn't have that much impact like the real big celebrities, but it felt really, really good. And like I said, I'm looking forward to many, many more.
So, ladies, I guess the goal is to walk as many red carpets as you can.
Yes. Bringing home trophies.
Well, I'm making a red carpet here, a mini red carpet, because I want the people in PG to experience kind of what I experienced. So, yeah, that's the goal, and to create opportunities for the youth here and to set an example so that they can see that something like this is possible.
All right. So, you know, what's your final, what's next for you guys? I know, Shantae, you said you have more, you'll be involved in some more projects.
Yes, I'm currently filming with Gildon and Depot at the moment. We're doing a movie called Countryman, and after that we have a few more films to do with Beeswood Studios, and then I have this guy Byron Akio Martinez who's coming in the next couple months. He has a few scenes a few short films that he wants to do, so I'm looking forward to them, bringing more stuff for you guys.
Yeah, and for you, Indira?
And for me, I'm not actually like focusing on acting at the moment because I am working on my business. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm trying to build my business and get established first. It's called Coco Love, if you want to look it up.
Yes.
And so I'm just working on that. And then I've also been getting like some auditions, and I'm super excited to see how those turn out. But for now, I'm just putting my focus in my business and then branching out from there.
Well, the movie premieres on June 9th on Netflix. It has been great hearing behind the scenes stories from you guys, from the Dr. Flybite to the repeated jumping into the cold water. Thank you for sharing with us, and I'm sure it's going to be a very exciting day and few weeks after that as people catch up with it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Keep on making us proud and stay safe.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our final break, and we'll be back in a few.
2020 taught us the importance of being connected to the virtual world, and NextGen is here to keep its commitment to you. Even if you're physically apart, NextGen keeps you digitally connected.
Okay everyone, thank you for following me today.
NextGen provides more than just an internet plan. They provide service plans that support all your online needs. Sign up today and get your NextGen's ultra high-speed internet service. NextGen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Andrea Polanco, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Yep, and we're just finishing up our show after a bunch of great conversations for this morning. I want to say thank you to all our guests. Of course, we started off highlighting some outstanding young women who are making big waves in their respective fields. So we want to say thank you to Erin, Sabrina, and Dominique for sharing a little bit about themselves and about their ambitions for the future.
Yeah. And we also want to say thank you to Chandra from the Social Security Board. They have an they have an opening at this time for persons to apply for their Empowering 40 program, where you can enroll in some certificate courses that can help you to either gain employment or become self-employed. You can get that information from their Facebook page or from their website.
And finally, we spoke with some of the actors from the exciting film Tragic Jungle, which is going to be released on Netflix on the 9th of June. And it was filmed here and, of course, stars some of our very own Belizeans. So we want to say thank you to Indira and Shantae for telling us about the experience. And, of course, we want to encourage everybody, all of you, to watch the film when it comes out. It's right on your computer. On Netflix, so give it a watch.
That's right. I think if there's a theme for today's show, it's take a chance.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the first panel that took a chance in finding something to volunteer and follow their passions and how that helped them, to encouraging people to take a chance with the Empowering 40 program. And Indira and Shantae both clearly expressed how just taking a chance and going for that audition has led to them now being featured on a film that's on Netflix, and that has also, beyond Netflix, garnered much attention in the film industry, as we saw them nominated for quite a few awards in the last festival season. So congratulations to them, and thank you to all our guests, and thank you to you, our viewers. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, send us an email at oye@channel5news.com.
You can find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and also on Instagram at OIE Belize.
All right, and you can remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our